Welcome to the Africa Business Brief, your weekly insight into the latest economic shifts, corporate headlines, and policy developments shaping South Africa and the continent. In this episode, we cover the top stories from May 19th to 25th and give you a forecast of the week ahead, May 26th to 31st, 2025. South Africa took center stage this week as Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana tabled a revised national budget to address a 75 billion rand shortfall. The proposed VAT increase was officially scrapped due to political backlash, forcing the Treasury to pivot toward expenditure cuts instead. S&P Global revised South Africa's growth outlook to 1.5% annually through 2028, citing logistical inefficiencies and export disruptions. The unemployment rate has climbed to 32.9%, reflecting challenges in the labor market with losses in construction and trade. South Africa's private sector is innovating. Discovery and Sasol launched Ampli Energy, a flexible renewable energy platform. Companies like Nando's and Impala Platinum are joining, aiming to stabilize operations with green energy contracts. MTN Group reported a 33% surge in Q1 profits with significant growth in Nigeria and Ghana. Meanwhile, Investec is targeting expansion in the UK, aiming at high-net-worth clients. A lifeline extended to the beleaguered South African Post Office. This week, the struggling entity managed to secure a bailout of 381 million rand from the Unemployment Insurance Fund. This temporary injection of funds is aimed at preserving over 6,000 jobs, providing a necessary reprieve for the many employees facing uncertainty. Moving on to the defense industry, German company Hensoldt has announced plans to divest its South African optronics division. With 20 potential buyers already expressing interest, this move hints at a potential wave of consolidation within the industry. In East Africa, controversy reignites over the East African Crude Oil Pipeline Project, also known as EACOP. Total Energies, the French energy giant leading the project, is under international scrutiny for alleged human rights violations and environmental harm in Uganda and Tanzania. The United Nations has formally demanded a response, increasing global pressure and putting the project's long-term feasibility into question. That wraps up this week's key stories. Now let's look ahead to what South African and African business leaders will be watching closely in the week of May 26th to 31st. All eyes will be on how markets respond to the revised South African budget. Investors and ratings agencies will evaluate whether proposed spending cuts and tax reforms are credible, while labor unions may push back against austerity-linked job losses. Expect volatility in the bond and currency markets, especially if the budget is seen as politically fragile or economically thin. Additionally, the coming week will bring earnings updates from retailers and financial services firms, offering a deeper look at consumer demand, credit access, and post-holiday sales trends. On the labor front, analysts expect new employment projections, which could further inform government stimulus planning and election strategies for 2026. Overall, this week promises to be pivotal in shaping not only economic policy, but also broader socio-economic dynamics across the region. Energy will continue to lead the news cycle. Ampli Energy's successful rollout is expected to trigger similar clean energy projects in mining, manufacturing, and agriculture. New private sector contracts could be announced in Limpopo, Gauteng, and KwaZulu-Natal. Meanwhile, in West Africa, Nigeria is preparing to release cross-border digital trade regulations, an important step under the AfCFTA framework. Ghana is also due to present updates to its IMF-backed reform roadmap, a potential bellwether for investor sentiment in the region. Expect telecoms like MTN and Safaricom to share growth projections, particularly in mobile money services and rural broadband rollouts. And across the continent, ministers from SADC and the East African community are scheduled to meet to explore energy and transport integration, a step toward regional infrastructure harmonization. That's your Africa Business Brief for the week. For more in-depth updates, subscribe, share, and stay tuned to this channel as we bring you the insights that matter most from the continent's economic front lines. Until next time, stay informed and stay ahead.